Words to know. Coordinate grid, coordinate plane, x-axis, y-axis, origin.
Okay, first of all, coordinate grid, okay? Coordinate grid is the section that you see, okay? It's one section. As you see on a coordinate plane here, we have 4 sections, 4 coordinates, okay? There's 4 of them, separated in what looks like a plus sign, okay? One section is a coordinate grid. And 4 of them make up your whole flat surface, your plane. Now, when you have that cross there, that plus sign, it doesn't mean plus for anything, okay? It's this here cross that is made. There are 2 axes, okay? There's an x-axis. The x-axis is always horizontal, always. The y-axis is always up and down vertical. That always stays the same, that never changes. Sometimes you will see it, they'll label their x-axis and their y-axis as they have here, okay? Your origin is the center point of everything, 0, 0, okay? Your origin is right dead in the center, like a bullseye, 0, 0.
How can you locate points on a coordinate grid? Think about this question during the lesson. What is a coordinate grid? A coordinate grid is a grid that makes it easier to locate points in a plane by an ordered pair of numbers.
Okay, ordered pair, where pair means 2. The ordered pair gives you a location somewhere on the grid. An ordered pair is always x, then y, and they're separated by a comma. X, y. So the 3 is where the x is, the 2 is where the y is. That means to find this location, on the x, you should go over 3. And on the y, you should go up 2. That dot gets put right where they meet. That's the location of the bank.
What is an ordered pair? An ordered pair identifies a point on a coordinate grid. Look at the coordinate grid. Start at 0 and go 3 blocks east.
Yes, and you're determining a location, you always start at the origin and go from the origin.
Then 2 blocks north. Where are you?
At the bank.
You are at the bank. Now that you are at the bank, how would you get to the school?
Okay, so they want to know how to get to the school from the bank, okay, not starting from the origin. And so remember, it's always x, then y. So are we going to have to go x, we're going to have to move over to left or right any? No. Well, we're going to have to, but we're going to have to go up and over. We're going to have to go up 1, 2, 3, and then to the left 2 for this point. This point would be, x goes first, 1, it's not labeled, but this would be 5. 1, 5 would be the ordered pair.
You would go 2 blocks west and 3 blocks north. What is the ordered pair for the point where the school is?
Okay, we said
How do you know?
5, because x goes first, then y.
The point is located at 1, 5. It is located 1 space to the right, east, and 5 units up, north, from the origin. What is the origin?
0, 0.
The origin is the point at which the x-axis and y-axis intersect. At what point is the origin located?
You said 0, 0.
The origin is located at 0. How would you identify a point that is directly on the origin?
Right here, it has it labeled. Now, Whenever you see this, okay, previously they just showed us one coordinate of the grid, okay? When you see it all together, we said there are 4 of them. Some of them are positive, some of them are negative, which is why they had you work with positive and negative integers yesterday, okay? From your origin, when you're looking at the x-axis, just like a number line, everything to the right is positive, everything to the left is negative. For the y-axis, everything that is up is positive, everything that is down is negative. Can you have points at with negative numbers? Yes, you can. If I put a point, say, right here. If I decide to put a point right here, x comes first, it would be at -2. Then I'm going down to -2. -2 would be my ordered pair. You have a question, Nathan?
Now that you know how to locate a point on a coordinate grid, let's look at the coordinate plane in more detail. How is a coordinate grid different than a coordinate plane? The coordinate plane extends to include ordered pairs of both positive and negative numbers. It contains a horizontal x-axis and a vertical y-axis. The positive and negative axis lines divide the plane into 4 quadrants. In which quadrant are both coordinates positive?
There is only one coordinate, right here, that both are positive. You have positive x, positive y. So if you have any points in here, both numbers in your order pair are going to be positive. But if there's something over here, oh, well, your x's are going to be negative. Your y's are going to be positive, but your x is going to be negative. You have a point down here, your x is going to be negative and your y is going to be negative, both of them. And if you have something over here, your x is going to be positive, but your y is going to be negative.
Both coordinates are positive in the top right quadrant. In which quadrant are both coordinates negative?
We've already talked about that.
Now look at point A on the coordinate plane. The first number in an ordered pair, the x-coordinate, identifies the distance to the right or left from the origin along the x-axis.
Way to remember that, x comes before y in the alphabet, so your ordered pair is always x, y.
The second number, the y-coordinate, identifies the distance up or down from the origin along the y-axis. What is the coordinate for point A?
They showed us.
The coordinate for point A is located at -2, 3. Is the point 3, -2 the same as -2, 3?
Is it the same?
Explain.
Why? Well, I feel like it should be a different part of the grid. Be a different part of the grid, yeah. 3, -2 means 3 is your x, -2 is your y. 3 is your x, -2 is your y, right here. -2, 3 means -2 is your x, and 3 is your y. 2 different points on the grid. We give you 2 different locations. All right.
Now,
I just really wanted to go over that for the terminology, for the new vocabulary terms, okay? So, what we're going to do is, instead, kind of like for our guided practice, I'm going to pass out graph paper, and we are going to graph some of these points that are in your textbook. They're actually part of your skills work, but we're going to do them together. So go ahead and open up your book to 17-2, please.
It's page 4.
Thank you. Everybody take one. You guys need to come on. Now, they have the coordinate grid. Oh, here, look, please. They have the coordinate grid there for you already. Okay? That is not always the case. And if they did not have the coordinate grid for us, we would be okay. You would just make an X and Y axis cross somewhere on the paper. Okay? It doesn't, but this one happens to have one done for us. So we're going to use the one that they have given us. We are going to do numbers 14 through 19 on page 415. We just have to plot these points and label them. So, 2, 1. Remember, X, then Y. So on the X-axis, go over 2. For the Y-axis, you're going up 1. Plot your point there.
Why do you put a positive sign for the 1 and it's not a negative? So what would you do? Make it positive?
Guys, listen. 2, 1. Plot your point. Now, do you want to make it huge? No, because you don't want it to go into other boxes, but you want it to be visible, and label it. H. Number 15 for point J, 5, 1. On the X-axis, you're going over positive 5 and up positive 1. Plot your point and label it J. K. For point K, we have 0 for the X, so we stay at the origin at 0. And for the Y, we're going up 5. 2, 4, 5 is in the middle. Plot your point and label it K. We always start at the origin. Number 17, for point E, we have 1, negative 3. Means X-axis, we're going over positive 1, so to the right 1. The Y-axis, negative 3, so going down 3. Plot the point and label it E. F is at 4, negative 5. So start at the origin. Your X is a positive 4. I go to positive 4. The Y is a negative 5. So I go down negative 5. Here's negative 4. Here's negative 5. Plot my point. This is F. And the last one, number 19, point G is negative, negative, negative 3, negative 4. That means on the X-axis, I need to go to the left, negative 3. And now on the Y-axis, I go down to negative 4. And I plot my point and label it G. All right. Now, you may be asking, what does this have to do with positive and negative numbers? Well,